Good morning, everybody. It is meteorologist Age Weather Forecast, and welcome back to another video, guys. If you guys are wondering why I'm posting super early in the weekend, it's because, guys, I'm going to be going to Lake Lanier for almost a whole day. So I just figured I can just do this video really early for you guys, have the whole day to watch this and be prepared for the severe weather. And sorry, guys, for my voice. It's because I just woke up, so I apologize if it's annoying, but yeah. So guys, this video is gonna be about the severe weather for parts of the Northeast today and later or early tomorrow, and then also severe weather for parts of the Plains in Texas today and tomorrow. So this is why I just want to show you guys this, for you guys to get prepared with this severe weather. So yeah. So right now in the Northeast, we have in the Mid-Atlantic, it's gonna be the southern part of the Northeast. If you get what I mean, this is more the Northeast. But the southern part of the Northeast and then the Mid-Atlantic states, we have flood watches and flood advisories. The flood watches stretch from southern Pennsylvania to parts of the southern part or northern part of Virginia. Stretches for parts of central West Virginia, all the way to parts of northern Virginia, southern Pennsylvania, and western New Jersey. And then we have some flood advisories for those areas in the coastal areas right here. And then we have a flood. I think we have a flood. Yeah, we have flood advisories for these areas. Just be careful, guys. And then we still have those flood advisories and flood warnings for those cities and counties that are near the Mississippi River. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on with the active alerts. Let me just show you guys the radar that was going on a couple minutes ago in the Northeast. So this was a couple minutes ago. We had a really strong band of thunderstorms for parts of the coastal areas, just a couple miles east of the DC area, and then we had another band for parts of the Pittsburgh area, and really strong thunderstorms off the coast, which brought really strong thunderstorms for part of the Rhode Island and New England area, and New York got some light rain, but it was really in for parts of the northern part of North Carolina to the southern Maryland or southern Pennsylvania, northern Maryland border. That's where we really had the strongest amount of rain for the past couple minutes. But yeah, that's what it was looking like for the past couple minutes. So let me just show you guys what the radar in the future is going to look like. So this is what it's going to look like in the next couple hours. We're going to have a really strong thunderstorms for parts of the northern New Jersey and southern New York. We're going to have some strong bands there, and they're going to have a big blob of just light to moderate rain. Not going to be severe thunderstorms, or I highly doubt that. But if we go more into the day tomorrow, more into the day today, we're going to have a bit more bands or a bit more areas with some possibly bands of heavy rain, and then it stretches all the way to New Hampshire. We have some possible rain, just a lot of rain for these coastal areas. Going to get the heaviest amount in the next couple hours will be in central Pennsylvania and near the coastal areas of New Jersey and the Long Islands of New York. And then we can have some possible severe weather for the DC area. But as we go more into tomorrow, it's going to bring a really good amount of rain for parts of the Connecticut area, New York area, and Rhode Island area. So basically the New England area can have some really heavy rain. It maybe have a thunder or two, as those really severe weather will be off the coast. But New York City, Boston, Providence can get some really heavy rain. And then those areas that are behind can have some possibly bands of some light rain. And then it's going to leave off. It's going to go more into the Atlantic Ocean, but it's still going to bring some rain for the Boston area and the Rhode Island area as it goes in tomorrow, and then it'll leave off, guys. So that's what's going to go on the next couple hours for the Northeast, but it's not going to last super long. But let's get there's going to be severe weather for today, a bit for parts of the Midwest, but mostly on Monday, so tomorrow. So we have a severe threat for Monday for, again, parts of the Midwest and the Plains. So I want to show you guys this too for those areas or people who are living there. So we can see some scattered rain showers for parts of the Nebraska and Kansas area, possibly heavy band for the Missouri and Kansas area, and then we have a little band that's going to start forming as we get into tomorrow. That's going to bring some really heavy bands of rain for parts of the Iowa area, and it's going to bring just scattered rain showers, but again can possibly bring some severe weather for some areas like southern Kansas and central Iowa, and for parts of the Chicago area actually. And then as we go to more into tomorrow, it's going to start to wrap up into more of a band. So right here is where we had the strongest rain, and that's also going to bring some rain for the Michigan area. Going to bring a lot of rain for behind. So if you are not in this band, you could still get a lot of rain that if you're behind it, guys. But right here for near the Missouri and Kansas border, really strong bands of rain, possible multi-cell storms. And then for parts of the central and western Illinois can have have a possibility to get receiving parts of some really heavy bands. And then more to the southern Iowa and northern Missouri can get some really strong bands of rain that begins tomorrow. But this is going to be the major band that can affect parts of the Kansas and Missouri area. And then that's going to move off and bring really heavy rain for parts of Illinois. It's probably going to be the heaviest amount of rain, or the more severe that we've probably seen this year for parts of the central Illinois. But then again, southern Illinois can get some more severe weather. Chicago can have some possibly severe weather. And then for the northern parts of Oklahoma and southern Missouri can actually have a band too. And that band's going to move off. It's actually going to really just disintegrate or just fall apart as we go into the Tuesday, or more into the Tuesday time. So yeah, by Tuesday, it's going to hit more into the north central part of Illinois, just bringing moderate to light rain. In Indiana, Detroit can actually get some rain too. So that's what it was looking like for Monday for the severe weather in the plains in the Midwest. But let me show you guys what's going to happen today. So today and tomorrow we have some severe threats for parts of the South Central now. So we're going to have a lot of severe weather from today into tomorrow, including, like we said, northeast to the Midwest, plains to the South Central. So this is why I'm going to have this video, just different parts of severe weather in the next couple days. So we're going to have some really strong thunderstorms later today for parts of the southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma area. Possibilities of some large hail there, but not looking like there's going to be a tornado threat. And then for northern Texas, we can actually have some severe weather too with a separate band. But it's going to bring it's going to form, or it's not going to really hit really hard. We're going to have that high pressure system form instead of the low. So it's going to actually take it down a notch a little bit. But it's going to bring some severe weather for parts of the Oklahoma area. But again, not going to be a big tornado threat. And then as we get more to Monday, we're going to have a big blob of really severe weather for parts of central Texas. So if you are in these areas, you can actually experience a really strong band of heavy rain. So you're going to experience a really strong band of heavy rain. But that's not going to be it. As we get more into the later Monday, into the Tuesday area, we can have some really strong bands of heavy rain for parts of the northern part, or the northwestern part of Texas. And I mean really strong bands right here near the Wichita, the Wichita Falls, I believe, or some of those areas there from northern Texas. And then we have another band for parts of the central Kansas to northern Oklahoma. And then we're going to have, again, like we saw on that radar, those heavy scattered bands for parts of the central plains in the Midwest. That's going to bring, this band's going to split into half. The band that we saw earlier is going to split into half, bringing that central to the northern part of Texas. And then that's where we saw that band for parts of, on the other radar, for parts of the central part of Kansas to Missouri area. But it's going to bring really strong thunderstorms. This is where we can actually have some really large hail and possible tornadoes. We are going to have a slight chance. It's going to bring some more severe weather into the southern part of Texas now, and it's going to wrap around this area right here. So that band starts to split a bit more into the central to the southern coastal areas. So we're going to have two large bands, and then if you look up north, we're going to have some more bands associated with this storm. So it's going to like split into two storms, and then it's going to, as we go more into the Tuesday hours, really strong thunderstorms for parts of central Texas. And then we can have some possible rain showers for the Oklahoma area and northern Texas. But again, it's going to bring really strong bands. And this is the most I can go on this radar, guys. But again, it's going to bring really strong bands of heavy rain. So today, the threat's going to be here, the mid-Atlantic area. and for parts of the plains, and then that areas of Texas. So that's what we're having today. So that if you're wondering why did I show 3 areas that are getting severe weather, well, it's because then you guys will understand why we have 3 areas separate with a slight chance. So these are the one that's going on right now. This is the one that's going on right now. I showed you first. That's hitting the northern North Carolina, and southern Virginia with the heaviest amount of rain, and it's going to bring that other rain for parts of the northeast. So in that slight chance, we actually have Virginia Beach, and we have Norfolk, Virginia, and those areas, and then we have the marginal stretching off the coast. But again, we weren't supposed to have the slight chance according to yesterday, but it did update. It's going to have a bit more of a threat right here. But then we have a big area with the marginal risk right here, stretching for parts of the Madison area of Wisconsin, all the way to parts of these right in the border of Texas and Mexico. And we're going to have those separate slight chances. As we saw, we're going to have some possibilities and smaller bands of severe weather for parts of the plains, and then we saw those scattered bands and similarities with this area. We're going to have those areas in Omaha, North or Lincoln, and Chesapeake, Virginia can actually going to be in there too. But we're going to have a big areas today, so we're going to have different severe weather, different parts across the country for today. And to go into tomorrow, that's where we saw that severe weather forming in tomorrow, tomorrow and early Tuesday. We're going to have that severe weather for, oops, it has to update. Alright, so it's going to have some severe weather for northern Oklahoma, and actually really down south in Colorado, and then southern Kansas and the northern tip of Texas area. So that's when those really strong bands are going to start to form with that low, and then it's going to dip down south and bring that really heavy rain from more to the central actually parts of Texas. But again, we have some Wichita, Amarillo, Liberal, Kansas, Derby, Kansas, and Newton, Kansas. So it's more of a Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas, not really gonna be, or it's not gonna be, it's gonna be more of a northern Texas and a western Oklahoma than like we had the last couple of times. It was right here, but it's gonna change a bit. In that marginal risk, we have Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Kansas City, and St. Louis. So it's actually that margin is gonna dip down as we saw those possibilities of those scattered bands in front of the major band. And so this Tuesday is gonna be one of the worst days actually for the South Central. That's where we're gonna have those really strong bands over here. So that marginal is gonna include parts of Dallas, Tulsa, Garland, Mesquite, I believe, and Raleigh, Texas. And that slight chance is gonna include parts of the Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Arlington, Plano, and Lubbock, Texas. So it's gonna be quite a big jump compared to yesterday. It's gonna be quite a big jump then compared to what they're gonna see on Monday. So Tuesday's most likely to be the worst day actually. But let's check out how much rain we're gonna have, and I am having a zoomed out version because we have 3 systems we're gonna be talking about right here for the next couple of days. So we're gonna have the biggest amounts we see so far in this next couple of days will be in the plains with the Nebraska and Iowa border. We have up to 4.5 inches right here in the circle. And then around it we have up to 1.5 inches to less than 1 inch for parts of like central and northern Illinois. Southern Wisconsin can get about 1.5 inches. And then let's check about what's happening right now. The biggest amounts will be for the New Jersey area and Virginia. We have up to about 2 inches for Virginia and about 1 inch and 3/4 of 1 inch and 3/4 in New Jersey. But this is we're going to have the biggest amount of rain right here. Stretching from parts of Iowa all the way to the Texas border with Mexico, and down in the south we have up to 3 inches right here on the southern part of Texas, and then we have up to about 3 inches to less than 1 inch right here in the circle. It's quite a different band. We have a smaller one right here and then another one up north. So in between that we can have less than 1 inch, but this is going to be the biggest amount where we have up to 4.5 inches to less than 1 inch. But again, 4.5 inches will be like the biggest amount we have so far. So guys, that's what it's looking like for the rain. But let's check out the Cape really fast for you guys can just have an understanding the amount of energy we're gonna have in Texas. Like we've always, it's not gonna be anything new. We're gonna have a lot of energy for the Lubbock area and Wichita Falls. Like I said, we have 4,300 4,700 right here, and actually 4,800 for the northern part of Texas, near the right here we have up to 4,800, not reaching the 5,000 in that area, and just we're gonna have a band with the 3,300s, 3,000s, and then we have down the southern part of Texas near Acuna, we have 3,100 and 3,400. So that's today at 5 o'clock. Let's get to 11 p.m. And so I believe the worst cape, or the biggest amount of cape, will actually be on Tuesday. But for southern Texas, we have 3,700, actually 4,000. And Piedras Negras, we have 3,600. So let me go to 2 p.m., but go to tomorrow. Let me go to tomorrow, guys, when it's going to start to bring those heavy bands for the central part of Texas. So we have actually really, it's really starting to, like, oops, that was the wrong one. It's like really big area with the high amounts of cape. We have Oklahoma City actually going to have some really high numbers, actually 3,800. North of the area we have 4,600, we have 4,200, 4,000, and then we have southern part of Oklahoma, we have 4,100. Let's get near the Wichita Falls area. Wichita Falls will be 4,300, 4,500 near the area, but it looks like the biggest amount will actually be here for west of the Wichita Falls area. We have 4,600, 4,800, 4,900, and I believe we did not get to 5,000. We have 4,900, actually the highest. And then the southern part of Texas, we have the 4,500s. Let's get to 8 p.m. Tomorrow. We have the biggest amount of energy near the Oklahoma City area. Really high numbers, 4,700 for Oklahoma City. And then west of the area, we actually have 5,100, 5,200. So yeah, we have a really high numbers, 5,200, 5,100. We have 4,800 for Lawton, and then we have 5,000 to 5,100. And so yeah, it looks like we're gonna have some really high amount of energy for the Oklahoma area. But let's get to the Tuesday area. It's gonna bring really high amounts of energy. We have some 3,100s and high, or really high 3,000s, and then we're gonna have some 4,000s for parts of the western part of Oklahoma. And then as we get to the overnight hours, it's gonna bring some 4,000 or in the 4,200s and 3,400s, and those range for the southern part of Texas. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, everyone stay safe and stay tuned for the next video.